I arrived a little early. Some habits never fade. I like to be the first in the room, to gauge the energy before anyone else steps in. This place wasn't just a restaurant, it was a statement. Polished marble floors shimmered beneath soft amber lights. A piano whispering a tune that barely reached above a murmur. Every gesture from the staff reminded you. You either belonged here, or you didn't. I approached the hostess and gave her my name. She tapped at her screen, frowned politely and said, "I'm sorry, sir, there's no reservation under that name." Before I could speak, a sharp, familiar laugh pierced the air behind me. That voice, I knew it too well. My wife's mother stood there, eyes gleaming with cruel satisfaction. "Perhaps a more modest place would suit you better," she said with a sneer. I glanced to the right. There they were, my wife, her brother, and his overly bejeweled wife, lounging like royalty, sipping wine as though I were invisible. My wife couldn't even meet my eyes. I didn't react the way they expected. No stammer, no shame. Just a quiet, knowing smile. Not the smile of someone caught off guard, but the smile of someone who'd already written the ending to a story everyone else thought they controlled. I turned to the hostess again. "Tell Theo that Mason is here. I'll take a table." Her brows rose ever so slightly before she slipped into the back. Moments later, Theo emerged, sharp suit, gold watch, arms wide. "Mason, had I known you were stopping by." I nodded once and glanced at my wife's mother. "I like the table she's sitting at." Theo chuckled, unsure if I was joking. I wasn't. When he realized that, the laughter faded quickly. Things hadn't always been this cold. When I met Claire, her mother pretended to approve, polished compliments laced with barbed insults. "You've done so well for someone from your background." But Claire had felt different. Warm. Light. She made me believe in peace again. I didn't come from wealth. Everything I had, I earned through hard work, sacrifice, and an unrelenting refusal to quit. When I proposed, the ring was humble, something I could barely afford. Her mother mocked it. Claire said it was perfect. We married fast, moved fast, but the cracks began to show just as quickly. She stopped asking about my business. Her phone stayed glued to her hand. Dinner plans started happening without me. "Just girls," she'd say. "You wouldn't enjoy it." I wanted to believe her, but eventually, I couldn't lie to myself anymore. The truth started slow. Then it hit like an avalanche. After the third anonymous message, I hired a private investigator. What he uncovered shattered everything. Claire had been quietly draining our shared business accounts, disguising theft as joint investments. Her brother was helping. Her mother orchestrated it. For nearly 2 years, they'd been siphoning everything I built, counting on me to be too trusting, or too weak, to notice. They were wrong. I didn't lash out. I didn't confront. I studied them. Smiled. Played the fool while documenting every step. I hired forensic accountants. Rewrote my company's systems. Funneled anything Claire touched into controlled, isolated accounts. I archived messages, call logs, bank records. And through a quiet shell corporation, I bought a 12% stake in the very restaurant they frequented weekly. Theo, who knew me back in college, had no idea who I'd become. So when her mother mocked me tonight, that wasn't humiliation. That was the final scene in their little play. Theo pulled out a chair at the best table, right in front of theirs. "Anything Mason wants," he told the waiter, "is on the house." I leaned back, correcting him. "Actually, it's on my house. I'm part owner now." Claire's wine glass froze midair. Her brother's smile faltered. I stayed calm. "I'm here to thank you," I said slowly, "for the education." Claire finally found her voice. "Mason, I know," I cut in. "About the offshore accounts. The fake property fund. The backdoor access you gave your brother into my company's finances. I know everything." I slid a USB across the table. Copies of every document had already gone to my attorney. Her mother leaned in, voice like ice. "You wouldn't dare." I already did. They cracked fast. All that confidence vanished. They hadn't expected this. They thought I was still the man they used to mock. "I've also revoked Claire's access to every joint account as of 2 days ago," I added. "And that prenup you insisted on? Fraud nullifies it. You really should have read the fine print." Claire looked like she'd been punched. Her brother stood suddenly, fists clenched. I didn't move. Go ahead, I said, eyes locked on his. Try it. Security didn't step in. They didn't have to. I was in control now. After they left, faces pale, silence trailing, I stayed behind. The steak was tender, cooked to perfection. The kind of meal you eat slowly, like justice. The city lights outside the window flickered like applause. Claire moved out 2 days later. She called, texted, begged. I never answered. Her mother even came to my office, tears in her eyes for the first time. She left without saying much. Their accounts are frozen now. There's an investigation. My attorney says I have enough to press charges. I haven't decided yet. What I do know is this. They tried to ruin me. To use me. To erase me from my own life. They thought they were the storytellers. But they forgot one thing. I hold the pen. And I don't write stories where I lose.